The crypto markets are heating up and Swift has some serious competition. HBAR XRP fans, you know what I'm talking about. Stablecoins already got the blessing. We'll talk price action along with
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Sailor getting snubbed, and yep, he's speaking out about it. But HBAR and XRP, a threat to Swift? Well, what about stablecoins? Ooh, we gotta talk about it, but we also gotta talk about the green on the screen. What about the green in my background, but it's getting washed out by all the natural sunlight? Happens this time of year. It's called fall, autumn, pumpkin spice time. You know, when chicks dress up like Han Solo, they wear the boots and the vests all the time. Yeah, Han Solo white girl season. Green up on the screen, but viewer comments come first. Technically, my wife does, when she's in the mood. Trick starts us off this morning and says, Happy Monday, Klaus. Happy Monday to you, kind sir, and happy Monday to all of you, kind viewers. If you're like, bro, it's Tuesday, you dumbass. Well, maybe you're the... I was gonna say it. No, maybe you're the late viewer. Hit that notification bell next time so you watch the video on the first day. Andy Lovell says, your White Sox took 2 out of 3 against my El Tigres this weekend. I forgive you for being a White Sox fan. Hold on, let me put on the old hat. Hold on there. Because your content is good. Yeah, my Sox aren't making it to the playoffs, though, and that's what baseball's all about. Playoff season, October, ball, and football season, too. Watched a little Clemson football this weekend, yeah, because South Carolina doesn't have pro football. Yeah, way to go, South Carolina. Crypto Newbie says, hey, here's some support. Well, thank you. Let's go, baby. Diablo Poppy, love the good, happy videos. Klaus, you made the start of the week fresh. Thank you. I like it. You know why it's fresh and hot? Because the market's coming back. You know why? Because we got big events this week, and because the market's honestly opening up to the fact that crypto is threatening traditional finance in many different ways. And the big reality here is the consumer's waking up to it. And that's the best part about it. So I get that the green on the screen is juicy, but the real juicy news is everyone, the consumer's waking up. And the consumer is really going to wake up when we get regaronis. So United States government, you can beat your meat all you want and edge and stall all you want, but for real, sooner or later, you're going to deliver. But you know what didn't deliver? The S&P 500, because they snubbed the sailor dog. They were like, dude, your AI art is too cringy to get in this club. Okay, if you want a Ferrari, like the really, really nice ones, you have to be like a good noodle. You can't like be like an a-hole. You can't be a prick. You can't like modify the paint jobs of your Ferrari. This is all real shit. You can't do stupid social media posts with it. You can't do a lot of stuff. You have to be like an upstanding, and I put that in quote, citizen to get on the exclusive Ferrari list. The same thing is with Porsche, right? If you want a really fat GT3 RS, like especially like the RS 4.0s, yeah, you gotta be like a super good noodle. You gotta be buying like every Turbo S that comes out, like all like the Cayenne Turbo. Like you gotta get like everything cool, like the Mobiles, and then you get put on the list, okay? Well, the S&P 500 said no to strategy on their list. Michael Saylor, executive chairman at the Bitcoin treasury firm Strategy, recently addressed the S&P 500 snub, predicting that the leading Bitcoin firm will eventually be able to join the much coveted stock market index. Saylor does not think that there's a bias against crypto. Yeah, no, it's a bias against you being a fucking tool, dude. Ditch the AI shit, do shit other than just buy Bitcoin, and then maybe the S&P 500 will maybe let you in. He said, this is a brand new novel concept. Every quarter, we make some new believers. We get more support from banks, from politicians, from credit rating agencies, says Taylor told Becky Quick. He predicts that this will continue for the foreseeable future. Look, if your business model is all about trying to, quote, convert people and make people into believers, that doesn't sound much like a business, does it? No, it doesn't. And maybe that's another reason why the S&P 500 kind of snubbed you. So, Saylor complaining. Why? Because he was left outside of the club. Went to the bouncer, and the bouncer was like, dude, you're fucking ugly. I don't care how much cash you got, you were ugly. Oh, and you don't have chicks with big jumblies and like lots of cleavage showing up with you in your arms? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I don't care if you have a GT3 RS or not. You ain't getting in, homeboy. He had to buy that GT3 RS on the secondary market because he's not in the Porsche Club. Has FIREBLOCKS launched stablecoins answer to Swift? Listen to this. This is a brand new article. This is from FIREBLOCKS. So now I broke this story not too long ago, like recently within the last week. And what happens was FIREBLOCKS was like, look, everyone, we're going to build a network, a stablecoin network. You want to use our rails? You can. We're going to be not biased with stuff. We're going to make it so that everyone uses us. Everyone wants to use us. That way, like, you don't have to worry about, like, your own infrastructure. FIREBLOCKS network of payments seeks to address scaling issues for businesses when adopting stablecoins as a payment method. FIREBLOCKS believes these businesses are missing revenue opportunities due to lack of infrastructure. CEO says this: there's inconsistent compliance and there's a lot of complexity. Basically, FIREBLOCKS is solving that. The stablecoin network will support cross-border treasury, payouts, remittances, merchant settlements, enabling businesses to control whether their stablecoin payments will be processed in either fiat or blockchain rail. There are more than 40 providers: Circle, Zero Hash, Yellow Card, OpenPay, blah, blah, blah. Either way, FIREBLOCKS as a threat to Swift. Now, who else is always talked about as a threat to Swift? Ripple and XRP, right? Okay. Stablecoins to settle a $5 trillion. And this article was written a few months ago. My point here is that a lot of people are going after Swift. You hear about HBAR and Swift. You hear about XRP. You hear about what FIREBLOCKS is. Everyone's going after Swift. Swift is like a buzzword in this space. Oh, but bro, this. No, seriously. Swift is a buzzword. Swift is like people saying, oh, they're going after Amazon, or they're going after Ford, they're going after Dodge, they're going after Chevy, they're going after a big player, they're going after Bank of America. Like, it's equivalent to that, right? They're going after the Yankees, they're going after the Dodgers, right? That's what this is. So all these players are going into it. Now, why is FIREBLOCKS doing this? Because there's money to be made in cross-border payments. There's money to be made in stablecoins. Why did Ripple launch RLUSD? Because you make lots of money in stablecoins. Because there's a lot of people out there that like cross-border payments. Here's another one. Ripple versus Swift. There are reasons why banks won't use XRP. So there are people there on the other side of the fence. And this is one of those people that are like, yo, he explained that XRP does not qualify as a deposit. It's not regulated money and cannot be listed on bank balance sheets. For this reason, he argued that financial institutions will avoid using it and instead will be what? They will be using Swift, and they will be using what? They will be using stablecoins or other things in that. So you have detractors from that too. My point is this. You're going to have people on both sides of the aisle. Traditional finance people ripping on crypto. Crypto people ripping on traditional finance. You're going to have people, I don't know what the hell that was in the background. You're going to have people in the crypto world going, our product is going to threaten Swift. You're going to have other people in the same crypto verse going, no, our product is going to threaten Swift. Everyone thinks that their shit is the best. And the thing is this, no one is replacing anyone. Everyone's just going to get their own piece of the pie. Now, speaking of pieces of the pie, you notice how everyone's piece of the pie is green up on the screen? Yes, green pie, key lime pie. Bitcoin up 1%, but our alts are pumping even better. Crypto market cap are really close to 3.9 trillion. Altcoin season 52 out of 100. Volume? Okay, we're up 51%. That's juicy, right? Well, the weekend sucked volume-wise. 130 billion right now. HBAR. Look at this, up 57%. I like that. 218 million. Okay. Cool part. Notice this. This is the 1 month chart, okay? You notice we kind of had this bottom and we kind of swung up from it. You're kind of noticing this. This last week was like, all right, we're digesting some bad news. We're digesting some market. Notice, though, how well we did staying north of what? 21 cents. Look at the low on this candlestick here. 21.14, 21.15, 21.11, 21.12. See what I'm saying? We stayed north of that 21 cent mark. So HBAR floor 21.1 something, right? We feel better about that. And why is that important? Because it's based on this most recent move. The most recent move that we had from what? From Crypto Regs Week, which is this right here that happened in the first part of July. So we had a little bit of threat of Crypto Regs Week. Yeah, I know it brings us back to what, everyone? This move right here, which is nothing too exciting, but look. We made it through. We made it through, yes, this downturn momentum. Now, what are we going to have coming up? We're going to have rate cuts. We're going to have regs coming up again in a few months. So maybe we can tread some water until then. And HBAR fans, look, mentioned as what? A threat and a replacement to Swift as well. So everyone out there is going to get their piece of the pie. It's all a matter of what? Speculation and what companies can do with their products. Now, XRP, same thing, but the rebound from that bottom was a lot faster. It has rebounded much better. Volume for XRP, much healthier as well. Almost $6 billion right now, up 81% in the last 24 hours. Interesting thing with XRP, though, much more defined support, getting much closer to that $3 floor that a lot of us truthfully believe in. You know, we saw how strong that $2 floor support was. We're seeing that same thing happen right now with the $3 level. The enthusiasm that got us up to the 365 mark was based on what, everyone? Yes, crypto week. Are we going to get that same enthusiasm when we get the regs later in the month? Yes, I believe so. Will we get enthusiasm with Jerome Powell cutting? I believe so too. We just need CPI data to be juicy, and we need Jerome to actually cut. The odds are yes. I'm hoping he will. I just hope he isn't hawkish, because man, that's been his trend. But right now, let's be positive and optimistic. We're on our way back to $3. We're facing a little bit of resistance right here. High on this most recent candlestick was $299.19. So the market's like, oh, we're getting so close. And yes, that's what she said. But he couldn't last, could he? But XRP can. And look, everyone's talking about beating Swift. FIREBLOCKS beating Swift. Ripple's beating Swift. Every stablecoin's beating Swift. Yeah, and the Swift buzzword is almost as big of a buzzword as Elon was a few years ago with crypto, right? It was, oh, Elon's going to buy this, or oh, Elon's going to use Doge for X payments, and you know how that all turned out. So yeah, I mean, it's good that the market's thawing and warming up a bit, right? It is good. The problem is we're warming back up to $3, and we wish we were warming up to like $3.30 or $3.50. Well, we got let down by the government and the lack of regs happening this month. They're like, oh, we'll give you markup at the end of the month. Oh, well, thank you, Master. Thank you so much for giving it to us. Oh, the government letting us down again, just like the White Sox letting us down with no baseball playoffs this year. Sucks to be a Sox fan. Either way, Swift thing, whatever. No one's replacing no one. I think I've made that point. Price action, pretty good. Like I said at the start of the week, that's a good sign. CPI data is anything we really got to worry about this week. Jobs, we got to start paying attention to some of those labor reports. If they keep staying bad, you start thinking recession, but you're going to be looking like the month-over-month reports. You're going to need them to stack a few months in a row for that to happen. So you're going to be looking at like CPI versus jobs like this, right? CPI will lessen in terms of strength, right? And then jobs report will increase, right? So like as unemployment kind of goes up in terms of percentage, so will the strength of the report weighted versus CPI. So we'll pay attention to that trend-wise over the next few months. Other than that, let's see what happens, baby. It is what it is, and choo-choo what? Choo-choo biz nachos.